Welcome to Intuitive Seek. My name is Mary Train, and as an intuitive guide, energy healer, and meditation teacher, I aim to bring you a grounded approach to all things energy and intuition. Everything I share is with the hope to help you remember how your unique power of intuition is your own greatest teacher. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to your intuitive week, your energy update. And before I get into the energy update, I just wanted to share a little bit about what has been going on in the world, especially in the US and the human rights crimes and murder and abuses. And I feel that looking across the border at all of the horrifying happenings, looking at the incredible brave people of Iran who are fighting and dying every day for the rights that so many of us take for granted, especially here in Canada. And, human rights have been shrinking around the world for a long time now. People are fighting all of the time to keep them around the world. And when personal freedoms and human rights are being taken away and stripped, our personal responsibility, awareness for our communities and for our neighbors, it must expand into the space. And I've experienced how my energy updates and the meditations and energy healing and the intuitive work and development that I offer and do, the positive impact that I can have on individuals and on the collective. I like to believe, and I have seen small amounts. It's why I have so many free resources. But any spiritual and personal work must be met with action. Action to serve others, the collective, and your community. There's the adage of help what is in arm's reach. So I just wanted to acknowledge, unfortunately, again, because over the years, for many, many years, these things have been happening. And now it's coming to quite a fever pitch. And we can't numb ourselves out or bypass it, explain it away, or ignore it. We need to bring awareness and witness to speak, to share, and also to take care of your nervous system too. So, not every moment of the day, but it's not something that we can ignore. Because, look at the dream that I shared last week. If you weren't able to listen, I had a dream over a month ago where I was repeating this phrase over and over again, this Latin phrase, omnia unus est, and it means all things are one. And we shouldn't have to put ourselves in other people's shoes, imagine it happening to us to be able to care about it. So something happening to others is also affecting everyone because we are all connected. And I'll put in the show notes, there's a great resource. It's called standwithminnesota.com. And there are so many ways to support and help and share. And yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for your care and your voice. And thank you for not turning a blind eye through all of the years of injustice and now. And I know when I share about this, it's not going to come out perfectly or exactly what I'm meaning to say, but I hope that I conveyed a bit of what I feel and how you can create more action rather than just consuming the information and what is happening. Let's try to create change as well. All right. So, yes, let's also, because we can hold both, let's also get into the energy update. This is your intuitive week for January 26th. And for anyone new listening, when I share these energy updates, what I do is I go into a really nice deep meditation with the intention to receive insight, guidance, anything, symbolism, messages, anything that I can translate with as much clarity as possible to offer us, you and I, insight and clarity for the week ahead, to allow us to create more of a clear intention for ourselves, for moving through the week and navigating all of the energy that offers opportunity and also challenges. So, when you're listening, if it resonates, trust that. If it feels like I'm speaking directly to you, then that message is for you. And if it doesn't, trust that as well. These help to develop your intuition, to develop the trust within so that you know when something is feeling right and connecting with yourself intuitively, and when you know when it's not. So trust yourself over everything else. Take what resonates and leave anything that doesn't. And lastly, I'll share that I have one space remaining for my one on one 4 month journey called The Key to begin in February. One space has been claimed, but there is still one left. So if you have been curious about it, contemplating receiving that very focused one on one intuitive and energetic support for 4 months so that you can really connect to your purpose and transform back into yourself more than you can ever imagine. Connect with me, go to the show notes. You can apply through the link, through the connection form, and you can request a consultation call through that, and we can chat about it. So, yes, if that is you kind of sitting on the fence and not sure, let's connect about it. There is no pressure at all. It's all about seeing if it will be a good fit. So if it feels like maybe this last space in February is waiting for you, then I really look forward to hearing from you. So for your intuitive week of January 26th, your energy update, here is what came through in the meditation. When I opened up the meditation, I felt a huge amount of energy around our midsection, focusing on the solar plexus, but also kind of touching into the sacral and really connecting to our hearts. Almost felt like a belt of energy that was centered in the solar plexus. And this felt like a message that this week we could have access to new stores of vital energy, new access to our inner fire, maybe even a fire that we didn't know was available within us, and that we have this opportunity to act, that there are actions based on what our inner sun, our inner fire, our confidence, our trust, our will, this depth of expression of our truest, most authentic selves, that there is kind of new space for us to move, that there is an action that we can take. The opportunity is there. And that by tuning into this energy in our center, in our solar plexus, we can create something really big and bright that not only supports our hearts and our sacral, but also the hearts of others. And when we're tuning into how that inner fire supports our hearts and our sacral, it's supporting our sacral, which is our creation, our creativity, the kind of beautiful, deep, fertile void of energy that we can bring forth new things from, but also our hearts, the depth of energy and power and love and connection. So much energy is being given to both of these spaces, but through this depth of inner fire within our solar plexus. So if you're feeling this kind of buildup of energy within you, tune into that. Is it supporting some creativity? Is it supporting the love and depth and connection? Is it supporting this fiery action of your confidence and trust and will? Is it supporting you to shine authentically where it's not even a choice anymore, where you can't shine any other way? Anything else dulls your shine because it's not true to you. So your authenticity is reaching for the world this week. That's what it feels like. And I love this because when I was writing the notes afterwards, I remembered that at the end of the week, on the 1st of February, we have a full moon in Leo. We are ending this week with a beautiful full moon in a very strong astrological placement that we can be very inspired by. And since this full moon is in Leo, we can bring more awareness to what is in the way. What is in the way of how we share and express the unique fire, beauty, and power of our hearts and our inner sun. Leo is ruled by the sun, and physically it rules our heart, our upper back, and our spine. And doesn't that sound like a description of a deeply confident stance? Standing up with your hearts out, chests out, upper back standing straight, pulling our spine up, standing up, not only standing up for what is true for you, but standing up for others too. Because Leo, the astrology of Leo, the archetype, the energy, it inspires themes of courage and heart and leadership and strength and passion and creativity and fire. So remember that creativity is not only for the sake of creating, it's to share a vision, to help shift the hearts and the minds of others by sharing how you see and feel. Anything that we bring from within us, bring out into the world, that is a pathway to remember how connected we are to each other. Just like I spoke about at the beginning, the dream that I had, where I was repeating, Omnia unus est, all things are one. Your sensitivities, your intuitive knowing, your heart show you this. And in the light of the moon, when the moon is at its fullest, illuminating everything, is it illuminating something that needs to be released from your life? Whether it be a feeling, a limiting belief, a stagnant energy within you, something that feels like a block or a hurdle. Maybe it's physical. Maybe it's clearing out of your life something that has been in the way. Maybe a habit. Maybe physical objects. Look at the themes of Leo. What is in the way of your confidence? What is in the way of your heart? What is in the way of your courage, your powerful fire? Is it the veil of doubt that's clouding the deepest wisdom of your heart and allowing that inner fire to really ignite? This is a beautiful time to connect with your heart and see how your solar plexus supports that. Maybe try listening to your heart with fresh ears. What have you been ignoring? What does the light within your solar plexus, that fire, what is it allowing you to see? What is it lighting up? So, a lot to think of and look at and be inspired by with that full moon at the end of the week. And then the next thing that came through was a kind of zooming in on our middle finger on the right hand. Now, right away, yes, the middle finger is something that we can give to someone, a gesture. And it does feel like the message with that is to know that we can defend ourselves, but be responsible about it. Reserve your defense for the right place and be aware when you're reacting to someone pushing your buttons or an old wound rather than something in the present. And I speak about the responsibility because in some theories, spiritual and metaphysical theories, each finger is ruled by a planet, and the middle finger is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is an energy archetype representing responsibility, our deep work, our work ethic, action, our path of purpose, not allowing fate to sweep us away, but taking control over our life and really honoring and trusting the path that is correct for us, making decisions that are right for us, not what we should be doing, but connecting to what we know we could and need to be doing. It helps to connect us to discipline and really overcoming challenges too. And that's why I spoke to the kind of gesture that we maybe all think of when you say middle finger, that we can connect to what we need to defend ourselves, defend others, but know that we have a deep responsibility, that there is a time and a place for something like the middle finger. And this focus on that finger feels like guidance to remember the power and responsibility that you carry. And also, maybe where you need a bit more responsibility and discipline in your daily life. Maybe that's what's in the way of you really honoring that fire within you, really being seen in your authenticity. And if you feel a bit resistant to that as I'm saying it, then maybe that is exactly what it is. Maybe it is about discipline and responsibility and knowing what you need to do. And maybe where are you taking on too much responsibility or too much discipline is in the structure of your daily life. It could be that. That could be in the way of your fire and your creativity. It feels like a call this week to have more clarity. The opportunity is there to have more clarity around what powerful actions you can take, and that you don't have to plan it out forever. You can do it now. And then the next thing that came through in the meditation was a bunch of blooming flowers, and they looked like peonies. But the kind of cool part of the meditation is they weren't slowly blooming. It was fast, almost like a time lapse. Big, beautiful flowers, big peonies, that's what they looked like to me, blooming. And this really felt like a message that this week, that energy, everything I've shared already, is really supporting growth. And there could be rapid growth in an area of your life. The opportunity is there for it. And because they were peonies, they can represent being seen, blooming open to be seen to the sun. And they do tend to be later blooms in the spring and early summer. And they also have a short window of blooming too. So maybe it's a sign that for some of us, this week, whatever rapid growth is available, it could have been a long time coming. Maybe something in your life that feels like a later bloom makes you feel like a late bloomer, but it's actually right on time. And this makes me think of the feeling of all that energy around our core from our solar plexus, all of that fiery energy. That energy is needed because it needs to expand. And is part of what that rapid bloom and growth is going to happen or begin this week. And that's how it's supporting our hearts. But if we don't give it the space, if we don't trust our actions, if we don't take the inspiration for whatever is growing, we could feel it in different ways. It does feel like that rapid growth energy connecting to that inner fire and that building of energy within us, that could, to some of us, feel more like anxious feelings, anxious energy in our stomachs and our chests, maybe even more like fear. We might feel really uneasy or wound up more tightly, maybe more scattered, very ungrounded. That unexpressed energy could be mistaken for that fear, right? And it could be mistaken for something that needs us to stop and not do anything. It could be something that we misinterpret that makes us miss the opportunity. And it doesn't mean you miss it forever, but it could miss this opportunity for growing and blooming in our lives quickly, something that is ready. So the opportunity is available, but it does feel like if we don't listen to this energy and we allow that fear to override the truth of what we're feeling, then we won't be able to bloom. And all of that unexpressed energy could actually maybe weigh us down, slow us down in ways we don't need. So this week, if you're feeling lethargic, uninspired, or maybe more stuck and scattered, get grounded. Get grounded and tend to your solar plexus. Maybe connect and see if there's something that you need to do that is part of this blooming that you're not trusting yourself enough to do now. Because this week it feels like you are ready. You are ready to open up and grow. And it might be very quickly. By the end of the week, you might be changed. And because the peony came through as the flower, I just wanted to share a bit of the symbolism around the peony. And this can also help inspire what you need to focus on in your life as well. So, for the ancient Greeks, the plant symbolized healing, named after Paeon, a student of the god of medicine. Peonies are also rich in symbolism with the language of flowers in Victorian times, representing romance, prosperity, and good fortune, but also a bit of bashfulness, a bit of feeling more humble, more of a responsibility with the good fortune. And in China, it is known as the king of flowers. So that leadership piece again. And then from pantheos.com, I loved this explanation. They shared the magical properties of this flower as an ally. With the peony, you can work with this plant spirit on issues such as anger, anxiety, or even banishing. Find assistance for your business through peony. Protect yourself, family, or friends from danger, relieve nightmares, discover hidden things or promote opportunities, success, and prosperity, preserve a harvest, find release from sorrow or what no longer serves you. Peony will work with you on all of these needs or issues. And I wanted to give all of those different meanings because look at how much energy is held with the peony. Which part inspired you? What part really spoke to something in your specific life? How can the peony support that? And then, of course, the animal of the week that came through in the meditation. And it does feel like a different type of energy this week because this animal I have never had come through in a meditation or in sessions before. This is the first time. And the animal is a walrus. And if you haven't seen a walrus in a while, look it up. They are magnificent. In the walrus, I'm going to share what the energy represents and then a bit around the meaning. So, as I share about what the energy represents, similar to the peony, connect to where it is spotlighting in your life what you may need to focus on this week. So, the walrus represents the energy of strength, protection, ancient wisdom, grounding, adaptability, community connection, emotional support, embodying your gifts and talents, and riding the waves of life. And when I was tuning into the walrus, my intuition was focusing on the thick skin and their super intelligence. And this felt like a reminder to what the middle finger of that Saturn energy was spotlighting in the meditation, that this week we may need to have a thicker skin, that we cannot react as defensively as we may be feeling the need to really trust our intelligence, the intelligence of our minds, but also our emotions and our intuition. But I also wanted to share a bit more about kind of the overall meaning spiritually around the walrus. And the book that I always share, Animal Speak, does not touch on the walrus. And so I did find from spiritanimals.com, this did feel like it was connecting to what we needed to know. So, walrus meaning and messages. In general, walrus symbolism says that you can build the life of your dreams with your gifts and potentials. Put differently, if this sea creature appears before you, it is a sign that you have all that you need to excel in your chosen career. When you feel incompetent or think that you can't get something done, this animal shows up to let you know that you are powerful and can achieve anything. Whatever happens, you mustn't let anyone else think for you or mold you into something you are not. It's your life. Be in charge of it. And I love that I found that one. I don't normally go to that website, but when I read it, immediately I felt that intuitive knowing that, oh, this is what we need to know. That for some of us, this was the message of the walrus. So trust how it's resonating for you. What does it make you think of? How do you connect with it? And if this is inspiring you or you're getting a bit curious about the walrus, you can do your own meditation. You can just bring to your mind's eye a walrus, get into stillness, and allow that imagery and your imagination to be a translator for what your intuition needs you to know. And just see what happens. Really trust that you have everything within you that you need to receive any answers that you're looking for. So, a pretty interesting week, we'll say. A lot of opportunity, some challenges, but the energy is there. This is a different type of week. That's what it feels like. It is not like the one before. So, I hope you can be at least offer yourself some time to be a witness for what is different and how you are different and how you can really take an action that you know needs to happen and that is part of your path. And before we go, let's get into some soul questions. These are writing prompts. You can use them as journal prompts or just a kind of thought, something to muse on while you're going for a walk, or even a voice note to yourself. So many different ways. You can answer one or none of them. Trust which one resonates for you. So the first question could be, how can you tell the difference between your intuition, your anxiety, and your fear? And number two, where in your life do you desire a rapid growth? And how can you support this? What do you need? And the third, this is about taking advantage of the full moon energy at the end of the week, and you can do it anytime during the week. What intentions can you set and commit to tending for the next month? And you can begin your intentions with, I am grateful to finally release, and then write in what you need to release so that you can call in what you desire to create, receive, or experience. And then also detail those desires too. And if you're not sure, go back to what we shared and connected to in the meditation. What is in the way of you shining brightly, of you allowing your fire out? What is in the way of you sharing and expressing your unique beauty and power? What is in the way of your confidence, your heart, your leadership, your strength, your creativity, your courage? That's what you can connect to about what you need to release and really trust that you know. And that brings us to the end of your intuitive week for the week of January 26th. Thank you so much for listening. I would love to hear if you resonate with any of the energy that I shared and that we're feeling and moving through for the week. And if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to send me a message. You can go to the show notes, all the links are there. And hugely appreciated if you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you feel called to give a bit more support, then share this episode with a friend, or you could leave a review. That is very, very appreciated. So thank you again. Be extra kind to yourself and others. And I'll talk to you next week.
Hi, Auntie Mary. I just wanted to say something very, very meaningful. Cat.